Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jake from TNJ. One last chance here in Season 3 for bowl eligibility, and it comes versus a 2-win Tulsa team, I should say, and they have been weirdly inconsistent. They have lost blowouts. They have lost by 3 points versus good teams. So this just tells me that this could be an interesting game. We'll need to bring our A game for our final home game. This would be senior day, but we literally have 0 seniors on the roster. So here comes Tulsa. Last year we did defeat them, so let's see if we can make it 2-0 in a row. Here's a throw out to the right side. It's going to be caught by James, who just snags it out of the air over Brian York. They are quarterbacked by Sidney Williams, who is a senior this season. He has been the starter for the last 3 years. He is a speedy quarterback. He will scramble a little bit, so we got to watch out for that. They also have a burner at receiver who can just absolutely take the top off of a defense. He's got 96 speed. And actually, their leading sack leader, I should say, is Ali Carroll, a 67 true freshman. As now, here comes Williams backing onto the field. Here is a scramble to the right side. We said he would take off. It's another sack. Javon Warren adding to a great junior season. And now we get him to force the punt. So here comes our offense backing on the field. We're just going to need to be perfect in this game. Let's just get our first bowl bid. And now here we are under center past the 50. Here is Frazier, who tries to get rid of it at the last possible second. He gets sacked. That's a loss 11, and look who it is. It's Ali Carroll. So 2nd and 21 this time. Here is Frazier. He throws to the right side. He's got Eric Klug, who does fall down. It looked like he broke that tackle, but just fell. It's 30 yards and a big first down. So Jabari Blaze checks in the game. He gets a handoff to the right side and does get tackled. But look at this. He gets back up, and he's on his feet. It's a gain of 6 yards. Jabari Blaze finally getting some burn. So now 3rd and 2, inside the 15, handoff to left side, and it's Deion Carter, who does fight forward inside the 5, and now here we are with goal to go. Let's see what we do. So under center this time, 2 tight ends out there. We dump it off to Deion Carter out of the flats. He puts on a move, and he's in. It's a 2-yard touchdown catch, and Phoenix Frazier is perfect on that drive, 4 for 4, and that's a great way to start this game. It's 7-0. So here is Tulsa back on an offense, trying to run the option. Sidney Williams gets bottled up, and that's the junior Desmond Edwards, who's been a 3-year starter for us. And now 2nd and 11. Williams throws to the left side. He's got Winston as running back, loss of 5. And guess who? Javon Warren, the captain. So now 3rd and 15 this time. Williams throws to the right side. It's Winston, but we got defenders there. It's a tackle. Wyatt King is there. And now we get him to punt the ball away again, with a chance to take a 2-score lead. So here we are under center this time. Here is Frazier. First pass of the next drive, and it's going to be picked off by Myers, and that was an athletic play. Take a look at how high he got off the ground. Wow, Mario Myers. And now Tulsa takes back over with a chance to score and tie this game up in field goal range. So Williams now from the pocket. He's got a clean one. He tries to scramble out and gets to the outside and eventually gets run down. That's Kyron Favors on the end. And now 3rd and 4. Here is Williams again in the pocket. He tries to scramble and somehow breaks free and does get tackled by Wyatt King, but he gets clobbered. It's a gain of 5 and a first down. So 1st and goal. Here's an option keeper. He's in. Touchdown. Look at that stiff arm that he threw. Our player just did a tumble there. And it's 7-7. And now, let's see if our offense can respond. So here is Frazier backing onto the field. Quick throw to the right side. It's Stephen Ford, who puts on a spin move, picks up a gain of 14. He's started the last 3 games. I like what I've seen from him. He does add a different dynamic. He's a speedy guy on the outside. So here is Booker. Another throw to the right. It is caught by Andre. He's got a gain of 20. The captain moved the chains. So now we start the 2nd quarter. Quick throw to the right. It's Gonzalvo. Another catch for him. Man, he's having a great season. Gain of 16. First down. So Frazier now inside of field goal range. Running some slants, but he throws out to the flats. It's going to be caught by Gonzalvo, who does get pushed out of bounds. Gain of 11. And it's a first down now. We're inside the 10 as we hand off to Carter. This time, good blocking. And he gets hit and falls into the end zone. 6 yards, touchdown. And that's Deion Carter. It's now 14-7 as we come back on defense. Can we stop the senior Sidney Williams? Here he is from the pocket. Breaks a couple of tackles, loses ground, and then gets lit up. That's Ja'Cory Reed, who was last year a freshman All-American, and he makes Sidney Williams pay on that one. And now 3rd and 10. Let's see if our defense can come up with a stop. Throw across the middle. It's Harris who gets stopped, and he doesn't get to the first down marker. It's a gain of 9. He needed about 10 yards. And wisely, they punt the ball away. As now there's 2 minutes left here in the first half. Here is Frazier. Moves to the right side. He's taking it himself and dives for the first down marker, getting out of bounds and possibly stopping the clock. So here is Frazier this time. Quick throw to the right side. It's Booker who's open. First down. And now we're inside the 15 as we run Brian Parrish in motion. A play action fake. Jabari Blaze is in the backfield, but it's picked off on the play action fake. Gonzalvo was the intended target, and Myers is going to take this the distance. That's his 2nd interception of the game, and that one goes for a touchdown, 14-14. As we move into the second half, let's see what Frazier can do. Here he is, throwing the ball to the right side on the run. He's got Jabari Blaze again, 14 yards. He's getting some playing time in this one. As now Deion Carter Jr. takes back in as the pressure is there right up the middle. Here is Frazier. He throws on the run, and he had a man maybe deep, and that was just incomplete. And now 3rd and 10. 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. From the pocket, Frazier throws, and another almost interception. Wow, that's close. Phoenix Frazier has 3 interceptions in this game so far. It hasn't been pretty. But now we allow him to go for it here in 4-down territory. Quick throw. It's Eric Klug down the sideline, and he almost gets to the pylon. He gets tackled at the 1-yard line. And now here we are giving it off to Jabari Blaze, who checks in. He's in. Touchdown, 2 yards out. And there we go. It's 21-14 as now we move into the later parts of the third quarter. Here comes Sidney Williams back out onto the field. Here's a throw to the right side, and he's got Jared Harris for a 27-yarder. And now they're past the 50-yard line. Let's see if they decide to run the ball, but they keep airing it out. Here's a throw across the middle. It's Winston, their running back, though, out of the backfield. He breaks the tackle and picks up a gain of 19 yards and a first down. So now inside of field goal range, quick throw. Caldwell, who is wide open, breaks the tackle and eventually gets brought down. That is Brian York, the freshman, who brings him down. And now inside the 5-yard line, here is Sidney Williams. This time he's going to take off. Oh, my goodness. Nobody is home. 3 yards. Touchdown. 21 up. So here comes the Rivercats back onto the field. Here's Phoenix Frazier. And look at that glitch. Number 60 just literally got the speed burst of a lifetime and got to Phoenix Frazier. I was not expecting that. That's why we took that sack. And now 2nd and 20. A deep shot. And we get it. It's the captain, Andre Booker. What a last 4 games he's had. He is doing amazing things towards the end of this season. And now play action fake. Another sack. A loss of 9 yards this time. And now 3rd and 16. Here is Frazier from the pocket. He just dumps it off short to Deion Carter. It's a gain of 7, but that was just to get back into field goal range. We were already in it. Just to make it easier, it's 24-21. So now here we are in the fourth quarter. Sidney Williams in the pocket. Throws, and he's got Caldwell open. And Tulsa just keeps staying in this game. Who would have thought they would be in this? A 2-win team. I said that they could be sneaky good. As now they run the option. Winston gets it. A touchdown. How did Javon Warren let him get in? He was like running right beside him, and he gets tackled in the end zone. It's 28-24 Tulsa. They have an opportunity to ruin our season here at the end of the year. So here is Tyson Steele in the game. He is the 4th-string receiver. He gets a catch and a first down for him as he stops the clock. So here is Frazier now. Blitz up the middle. But nobody's home on the spy. He gets around the corner. Look at this. He's got nothing but green in front of him. It's 23 yards and a first down. As it looks like he was shaken up, so he will come out of the game. In comes Gunnar Johnson, but a quick throw. Adrian West gets open, wide open. It's a gain of 14 for him. That's the first time I remember saying his name this game, as that's his 2nd catch of the game. So Frazier checks back in. Another throw out to West, and he steps out, but it's a gain of 8. Now inside the 5, and now Frazier under center. Let's see what he does. He gives it to Jabari, who's in. Touchdown, Jabari Blaze Jr., who has been absent all year, has 2 touchdowns in this game, 31-28. So Tulsa has all 3 timeouts. Let's see if we can stop them here on this final drive. Here's a throw out to the right side. It's caught. Albert James, and it's a first down. As now they get it to about the 31-yard line. This time Williams, he's going to tuck it and run. No spies home, but he does get tackled. And while they give him the first down marker, wow, I did not think he got there. And they do call the timeout here. 11 seconds left. Screen pass out to the right. And it's Winston who makes a man miss and picks up a block. And he gets downfield. 4 seconds left. Let's see what they do. And they line up for the Hail Mary. This is it. Let's see what they do. Williams from the pocket. He's just going to unload and throw deep into traffic. And it's knocked down. It looks like Brian York may have got a hand on it. And that one will make us bowl eligible here in season 3 with a 6-6 record. I'm thankful for that rule. Deion Carter gets player of the game. He had 2 touchdowns. Jabari Blaze had 2 touchdowns as well. Both the running backs did work in this one. Our defense played well enough to keep us in it after Frazier turned the ball over 3 times, but we still get the most important thing, and that is the victory. And wow, what a season it's been. Tulsa came down to a Hail Mary, but we came up victorious. Xavier Gonzalvo, 8 catches. Booker, 8 for 111. What an ending to a season it's been for him. Vernon Carter, he's been shaky all year. I know we roll out to the right quite a bit. I'm trying to break that habit. I know you guys talk about it. Ja'Cory Reed got a sack in this one. Javon Warren added another sack to his total. And I just got to say, this was a team effort as we got the win here at home in the snow on what would be senior day, but we have no seniors. But we do have juniors that won't return. But we do get the victory and move on to 6-6. So let's just recap this magical season. I would call it magical because, man, I did not have really high expectations. I didn't know if we would be bowl eligible this year. I believed in our guys, but I definitely needed like a big spark on defense, I think, because that was an issue last year. We just gave up too many big passing plays. And with the recruits we had, I thought we would fix that a little bit, but we definitely started out shaky because when we started Joshua Wilson on the left side, I didn't know what we were going to get. So just looking at the stats here, and let's just go over each position. It's funny that Bryant Britt got in at quarterback a little bit, and they subbed some random guys in there. He is like our emergency quarterback, but it's just funny to see like guys like Robbie Warren in there. Gunnar Johnson played a little bit, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception, but the completion percentage was way down, and he will get better. Phoenix Frazier still has 1 more year to go. Gunnar Johnson might have 1 year starting. We'll see because he's going to have some competition by then. But looking at the running backs here and just the running group, I should say, Deion Carter had a pretty good improvement. I thought he was going to run for like about 700 yards if I had to guess, but he doubled his rushing touchdown total, so that is a good thing. He had 514 yards. 3.1 yards per carry isn't terrible, but we did throw the ball quite a bit because we were down in a lot of games. I think once we start, getting leads, early leads, we'll start to run the ball a little bit. But a lot of times we have to play catch up so we get away from the run. But Phoenix Frazier ran for 4 touchdowns. He actually had positive yardage rushing, so that's a good thing. Jabari Blaze had 2 touchdowns. Both of them came in that final game. It's pretty good to see him in there. He had not a lot of carries at all, 16. But I want to see something from him in his junior year. I don't know what it's going to be because we have some good running backs coming in recruiting. And Gunnar Johnson had 4 touchdowns as well, all off of quarterback sneaks. So looking at our receiver group, this was an interesting group. Xavier Gonzalvo led our team in receptions, and look at that year 1 to year 2 leap. He literally put on 600 yards onto his total. That is amazing. He had 1 more receiving touchdown, but he was a chain mover. That's just what he does. Andre Booker, what an ending to the season he had. He actually finished with his career high in receptions and yards, 813 to be exact. This was a good year from Andre Booker. Remember earlier in the year where we were debating whether or not he should have been the captain? Well, he kind of earned it the last few games. He showed up. But so did Adrian West. He still led our team in touchdowns. And I'm not sure if he will get that captain number back, but he definitely has a shot. I guess we'll have to see what happens in the offseason, who leads by example. But he had a good year. It was a middle-of-the-road type of year for receptions for him, and he had his career high in yards and touchdowns. So Deion Carter did have a couple of good games receiving the ball, but it wasn't the best of seasons. He kind of had to do everything, so that's kind of why his numbers probably dipped there in this category, because last year he had 39 receptions. This year he had 21, and maybe it was because he was just a little fatigued. He came off the field a little bit, but he was kind of a workhorse back for us. I definitely want to relieve him from that next year because we need to establish another running back who can take over, and just in case Deion Carter gets hurt, we definitely need a backup plan. So Eric Klug did good in his freshman year. Tyson Steele did good in his freshman year as well. He didn't play a whole lot, but he was in quite a bit. Isaiah Ford did well in a backup duty. He had 2 touchdowns as that backup tight end. He was still putting in work. Brian Parrish had a couple of good games where he did some pretty good things receiving the ball. But just looking at Isaiah Ford, this is one guy I will miss. He was a team player. He actually does play on special teams as well. So he is definitely a team contributor. As Brian Parrish, looking at him, he actually had 2 less receptions than last year, but I think that, what he does for us blocking is unmatched. I mean, he does everything. So other guys receiving, Shogun Gonzalez has 129 off of 10 catches. Stephen Ford started the last 2 or 3 games or so. He had 10 catches for 103. That's way more production than I saw out of Shogun in, 6 games of starting in this season before we gave Marcus Yarbrough 2, and then his season was cut short due to an injury. And then Garrett Jones's his season was cut short. Watch out in the future for Ethan Andrews, though. It's probably going to be another year or so before he starts to get a lot of playing time once Isaiah Ford leaves. I think that's the target goal. But he and probably Gonzalvo and along with Eric Klug, those guys will be the future at tight end. Now, Vernon Carter, I mean, I don't want to say all these sacks were his fault because we scrambled out of the pocket quite a bit, but he definitely gave up sacks like just right away, block shed in there. And it kind of concerns me a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Preston Kinney actually got in on offense too. We all know that he struggled on defense this year, but he did get a couple of good, snaps in at offense. He had to fill in a little bit. But Gordon Figueroa, to me, had the biggest improvement on the offensive line going into this season. He gave up, I believe it was 5 sacks last year. He only gave up 3 this year. That was huge because getting that pressure right up the middle, it definitely hurt us last season, and I'm glad to see him improve. Russell Lloyd did amazing, though. In his junior season, only gave up 1 sack at left tackle. That is amazing. So let's just move over to defense. Javon Warren, for the 3rd straight season, not even having a ton of tackles, still led our team there. Wyatt King was 2nd. This is the trend. Warren will be 1st. King will be 2nd. Ja'Cory Reed was 3rd on the team. He had 2 sacks. He had a good all-around season. But, Wyatt King, I remember in the beginning of the season, he was actually borderline going to lose his job, I think, because I needed a big game out of him. And he came through. I think that, Brian York was definitely pushing for his job, even as a safety. I think Brian York can play every single position on the field. Maybe not cornerback, but he can play defensive end. He can play linebacker. He can play a nickel back. He can play probably not on the outside as far as corners, but he can play either safety position. He was definitely valuable. Now, Leon Christopher was 4th on the team in tackles. I didn't really see an impact, though, from him. I felt like this was kind of a statless season for him. He was just kind of in there collecting stats, and nothing came out of it. I kind of call it empty calories. I think that's what he was getting all season. I'll look for an impact season from him next year, but nothing's guaranteed on this team. I mean, you have to earn your spot, and if you don't play well, I mean, you just are going to lose your spot. It doesn't matter who you are on the squad. So Brian Britt actually does win Returner of the Year, but man, did he have a great season on the left side of that field at cornerback. He filled in for Joshua Wilson over there. He filled in for Kyron Favors over there. I mean, he just took that role and ran with it. I'm really proud of him. Now, I don't think there's any doubt who the freshman of the year was to me. It was Brian York. I mean, this guy balled out. He made big hit after big hit, and he definitely just changed the complexion of some games. You could just tell with some big hits and some big plays, like teams weren't the same. Like they would make stupid plays. They would not make the cuts they're supposed to make. They would not break as many tackles. And that's the type of impact that I want from a player. I thought Preston Kinney would put fear in offenses this year with his pass rushing ability, but he did not have that impact. Now, Toffee Brown had a good freshman year. If there was actually a runner-up for that, it'd be Toffee Brown. I think that these two guys, Brian York and Toffee Brown, definitely are a really good tandem at safety. I think that York is valuable because he can play linebacker, and then Toffee Brown can pretty much play behind him at safety. I like both of those guys on the field. I think it's just a real dynamic defense we could build right now. I think we have a ton of potential with it. And then we have some young guys who are redshirted as well that will come in, like Jermaine Neal, who you'll see next year. He is a really good defensive end. I can't wait to see him. Now, Nick Sturgeon will be a senior next year. He had a decent year. He played in the nickel. Desmond Edwards had a good year as well, another solid one. I think he made impact in some games, and I think that he will still have that starting job. Eddie McMack, though, I didn't see it from him this year. Last year I did. I think he kind of suffered that sophomore slump along with Preston Kinney. He didn't have any sacks. He's not really a pass rusher anyway, but sometimes you just see impact from guys. It doesn't have to be as far as pass rush goes, but I didn't see that impact. I did see a little flash from Cecil Moore, but not a lot, and I think that is kind of a red flag. I'm thinking about moving Preston Kinney to the inside. I don't know if he'll have more of an impact there, but this year he definitely did not, and I'm a little disappointed. He went through that sophomore slump, and maybe even moving him to the inside will help him a little bit. I don't know what is going to. I've tried it this year, but maybe doing it on a consistent basis and maybe giving him another pass rusher on the other side of him. And that's the thing. I put over Corey McDaniels. He was a good pass rusher for us this year, but next year like I said, there's a freshman that I redshirted, Jermaine Neal. He's going to be good next season. Just watch out for him. He might start day one. I don't know whose spot he will take, but he's definitely going to get that playing time. Now, one guy we tried to get in there was J.J. Taylor that second to last game. He had 2 tackles. I just didn't see enough from him. He did have a decent game, but like I said, I just didn't see a whole lot from him. I think we'll have just a lot of impact guys coming into next season on both sides of the ball that may play a little bit. And like I said, running back is definitely one on offense. I'll need a new running back to at least groom into that eventual starting role. So you'll see a lot of probably J.J. Hollinson, who is coming in the recruiting class. And then on defense, you will see Jermaine Neal. Like I said, he will play quite a bit next year. So kicking, we did pretty good. Punting, we did pretty good. It wasn't like amazing, but even off was perfect. So that's a good sign. And then Bryant Britt won Returner of the Year in the NCAA. So that is an encouraging sign from him. I didn't know what to expect from him as far as playing cornerback. I knew he had that speed. He is the fastest guy on the roster right now with 92 speed. And that's what we're going to try to do next year is recruit speed. That's what we need at every position. I mean, that's what I want. Even quarterback, running backs. I'm pretty sure I won't recruit heavy with running backs because I have a couple coming in. I actually have 3 freshman running backs coming in, so I won't recruit heavy there. But everywhere else will kind of be a free-for-all. Maybe not tight end either, but everywhere else will be there. Now, we did not have any All-Americans except actually Bryant Britt, who won that Returner of the Year. Let's look at All-MAC, though. First team, literally none except kicker and returner. That's really disappointing. So how about second team? Do we have anybody? That's going to be a no. Nobody. So we not only do we not have any freshman All-American, we don't even have any first team All-MACs that are not Bryant Britt and even up. That is just insane to me. So then we move into the conference championship. It ends up being Tulsa State and Missouri Tech. Tulsa State actually wins. So I feel kind of good about that. We upset the conference champion, and they ended up winning. Vernon Williams was a beast for them. He ran over 100 yards and actually did his thing throwing the ball. So who are we going to play in the bowl game? We're going to play East Carolina in the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. I've never even heard of this bowl, to be honest. I think it's in St. Petersburg. I could be wrong there, but I think it is in St. Petersburg. So we will take on East Carolina. They are 7-5, and they're pretty much a 7-5 stat team. I mean, just look at them. They're not great at anything. They're not bad at anything. That's kind of what they are. They're like a 6-6, 7-5, 5-7 team. I think they could have went either way there with their record, but we'll have to see. This is going to be an interesting game. You can't take anybody lightly, obviously, especially with the roster that we have. And it's going to be a good game, I think. 7-5 for our first bowl opponent. And they actually ended up losing to the number 1 team in the nation, who is Navy, 41-7. So this is going to be interesting. So you don't want to miss next episode. It will be our first ever bowl game versus East Carolina. Hit subscribe. Hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
I've been working hard for a minute. The ones who don't deserve it seem to be the ones that get it. The ones who speak the truth never get the recognition, but the ones that act foolish seem to get all the attention. It don't matter though, yeah. Hey, it don't even matter though, no. Hey, it don't even matter.